Getting the help you need during the COVID-19 pandemic is vital, from mental health resources to booking a testing appointment. There is one place you can call to get many of those answers. It's 211.
And joining us today is John Hyatt, the CEO of Impact 211 Milwaukee. And we appreciate you being with us this afternoon, John. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we all know these last few weeks had to have been very difficult and incredible for you. Can you tell us what has changed since all of this began?
Well, as you can imagine, the calls have skyrocketed. So in a normal day when we would take 500 calls, we were up over 1,000 calls every day. They were days where we were triple, and so we had as many as 1,500 calls. And the other thing that's happened is, we're a crisis call center, and so people are routinely calling us for basic needs, anything related to family health and social services. But the level of anxiety and fear and panic have all escalated as much as the calls have.
And John, we're seeing some of your staff there. I understand you were able to get some funding to hire more staff. How is that going?
We had a very generous donation from Bader Philanthropies. The community has really stepped up. There's a number of other foundations, Milwaukee County Government and United Way, that have chipped in as well. And so for us, it's all about horsepower. And horsepower means people sitting in seats, taking calls and answering them. And so, for example, our food calls for emergency food are up by 48%. You mentioned it in your opening. Mental health calls are up by over 40%. So it's those really basic needs that people are struggling with.
Yeah, it's good to see the philanthropy out there. What do you think people should know before they do call 211, John?
I guess they should know that they can always call in crisis, but they can also call when they're just wondering, right now I'm not having to pay on utilities, I'm not having to pay on my rent, but call ahead and talk with us because that's not going to last forever. Sooner or later, you're going to have to start paying utilities. You're going to have
Yeah.
to start paying your rent. And we've got some really good ideas about how to help you in preparation for that, how to talk to We Energies, how to talk to your landlord, setting up payment plans, those kinds of things. So it's not always wait until a crisis, and oftentimes it's call in advance. And we've heard
Yeah,
it
John,
all.
you mentioned that people can call for specific reasons. I'm sure you get calls from people who are just looking to talk to someone because they haven't had that opportunity to kind of have a conversation with anybody, especially during this time. What do you want, or what should people not call 211 for?
I mean, they they call for everything. I mean, they call with a suicide crisis. They call about, what are the signs and symptoms of COVID-19 and where can I go for testing? People call and say, what do you think? Can I plant flowers in my backyard this year? Is it? I mean, it's everything and anything. And so we don't discourage anybody from calling us. Call us. And as you say, some people start off the conversation with, "I just needed to talk to somebody."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well,
It
John
is the
Hyatt,
times we're
that's
in.
true. A lot of people are lonely and they just do need to talk to someone. It's nice that you're there to offer resources.